that are just the algorithm, and then one that is a word problem. All right, so I'm going to just write myself some quick notes. So what's the first thing I need to do?
Change the whole number to a fraction.
Okay. Then what?
You keep the first.
Then what?
Keep the first number. You change to the
operation.
Then what?
Then you flip.
Flip.
Then you multiply.
You multiply.
Okay, very good. Very good.
And divide.
All right, so then over here, I need to change my whole number to a fraction, right? Okay. Now, let's think about this before we do it. What type of number am I starting with? Am I starting with a whole number or a fraction?
Fraction.
Okay, so if I'm starting with a fraction, my answer should be a
Fraction.
Okay, what about this one? 2 divided by 1/3. What kind of number is that?
A whole number.
We're starting with a whole number. So this answer should be a whole number.
Whole number.
Okay. All right, so I've done changing my whole number. Okay, I always like to rewrite it as I do it. Okay, so if I rewrite the 1/6, that's the keep part, right? So I already did this and then the keep part. So what am I changing?
The operation.
Okay, so instead of division, I now have multiplication. Okay, so that one's done. When I flip, 2 over 1 now becomes what?
1 over 2.
1 over 2. And now I multiply. 1 times 1.
1.
6 times 2.
12.
12. I always want to double check and see, can I reduce that? I can? How?
No.
No. Remember, it's been a while since we talked about this, but if I have a 1 in the numerator, that's called a unit fraction. Okay, and I cannot reduce a unit fraction. So if I ever get a fraction with 1 as the numerator, I can't reduce it. Okay, so 1/12 is my answer. Now double check up here. Is that a fraction?
Yes.
Yes. If you come to the end, if you looked and you said, okay, I started with a fraction, so my answer needs to be a fraction, and you look at the end and you see that your answer is a whole number, you did something wrong. Okay? And that means you probably most likely flipped something that you shouldn't have. So you need to go back and fix it. Okay? All right, any questions on that one? Okay, so let's do our next one. So the first thing we're going to do is change our 2 to what?
2 over 1.
2 over 1. I hate it when it does that. 2 over 1. Okay. What's my next step, Jada?
The next step is what? No, my notebook closed.
No. You should be able to tell me by now, though. It's also on the board right there.
Keep the first number.
What about the first number?
Keep it.
Keep the first number. I'm going to write it over here. Okay, so I'm going to keep my first number. Okay, Elijah, what do I do next?
You change the operation to multiplication.
Okay. All right, David, what do I do next?
You put a 3 over 1.
Why?
Like switch it because you have to keep the 2, so you have to like switch the
Okay. Okay, good. All right, so everybody, 2 times 3?
6.
1 times 1,
1.
which equals?
6.
Okay. Double check and make sure we started with a whole, so did we end with a whole?
Yes.
Okay, then we have a reasonable answer.
Yep.
All right, so let's look at this last one. So it says Stephanie has a photo album with 500 pages. That's our total. 500. Okay. This is a typo. Each photo takes up 1/3 of a page. That means that every page, there's 1, 2, 3 pictures on it. Okay? How many photo albums can she put in the album? So what's going to be my first number, my total?
500.
500, because that's how many pages she has total. Okay? And every page has how many pictures? 3. It takes up 1/3, right? So we're going to do 500 divided by 1/3. Now, the process does not change because now I have bigger numbers. The process is exactly the same. So when you get to your practice stuff today, I don't want you to think, oh my gosh, I can't do this because now I have bigger numbers. You can do it. Just follow the steps. So what do I do to the 500?
Change it to a fraction.
Okay. Then what?
You flip the
Well,
fraction.
no, not yet. We've changed to a whole number.
I'm going too fast.
You are going too fast. What's the second step?
You keep it.
Okay, you keep it. Then
And
what?
then you change the operation.
Then you change to multiplication. Good. Okay, then what?
You flip it.
Flip what?
The second number.
So 1/3 becomes,
3/1.
okay. Then what?
We
Multiply.
multiply.
What's 500 times 3?
1,500.
1 times 1.
1.
What's my answer?
1,500.
Okay. So, did we start with the whole number?
Yeah.
Yes, we did. Okay, so let's go over to our quiz. Come on. Preview. All right, so question 1. Are we starting with a whole number or a fraction? Okay. Question 2. Are we starting with a whole number or a fraction? Okay, so we already know that question 1 and 2 should be whole numbers. Okay. Question 3 is a multiple choice. Okay. So look at it. It says Yvette has an 18 square foot rug and a 24 square foot rug. Her floor is covered in 1/3 square foot tiles. So how many tiles will the 2 rugs cover? That's a 2-step problem. So first you add 18 and 24, and then you divide by 3. Okay. All right, and then on the last one, you're going to calculate and then make a short video explaining your work. Okay? Any questions on that? All right, we have about 20 minutes for you to do this quiz. So let's go ahead and get started on that. I am here if you need help or if you have any questions.